After over a week of working on it, I think I finally understand stat caps now. Hey guys, it's Monster Guide. Today I'm going to show you how to reach stat caps for your monsters. I'm going to show you how to reach both the soft stat cap for the individual monster and the hard stat cap for the type of monster. And what I mean by that is your one individual gem slime versus the maximum potential of all gem slimes in the game. This one's going to be a tricky one though, so you're going to have to pay attention. I want to preface this explanation by saying that I have only reached the maximum potential stat cap for all types of one monster one time, and that's on Overkilling Machine with its HP and MP. And I want to make it clear, I am assuming that because I have synthesized this over 10 times, and for the last 3 times I have yielded 1,299 HP and 339 MP. I cannot get those stats to go higher no matter what I synthesize it with. So that being said, let's do some math. In my synthesis basics video, I explained that the offspring of 2 synthesized monsters sees a quarter of their combined stats. And what I mean by that is both parents' attack is combined and then the offspring sees a quarter of that combined attack. 1/4. Same for every other stat. So when you're trying to achieve the maximum potential stat for any type of monster, it is best to synthesize that monster from 2 other monsters. As in, make it how you would normally to complete the Monsterpedia. You could choose to do what I did and go the Molehole DLC route, but I will warn you, you miss out on integral stats from parents. When you synthesize a new monster from 2 different monsters, you get a good mix of their stats. But when you synthesize monsters from one specific type of monster, like I did with Gem Slimes, you only see the maximum potential stat growth from the maximum potential stats that an individual Gem Slime can have. Gem Slime's HP has a very abysmal growth rate. Therefore, to see the maximum potential HP of all Gem Slimes, I would need to synthesize at least one Gem Slime with something that has 5-star growth rate in HP, if I didn't want to spend an even longer time trying to get maximum HP potential stat cap on a Gem Slime. You could try to pedigree a monster to get maximum potential stat cap for the entire type of monster by just synthesizing the same monster over and over again like I did with Gem Slimes, but I feel like it's going to take way longer doing that than if you just introduce more HP stats into the gene pool before synthesizing another Gem Slime. As I said earlier, the offspring only sees a quarter of the combined stats of 2 parents. So what I was running into with Gem Slimes was that a quarter of 200 is 50, and that's not a lot for the offspring to start out with. So by introducing monsters that had way more HP than Gem Slime into the gene pool, I was able to raise that individual stat cap up more and more and more until I hit over 300. And then I just went back with 2 really high HP Gem Slimes, as in like they had over 280 HP, and then combined more Gem Slimes together to raise all of their other super stats. Keep in mind, the talents that you choose to keep on offspring that do have points in them already do add into their level 1 stats after they're synthesized. So if your math is wrong when you're calculating a quarter of combined stats, that's probably why. The fact that the offspring of 2 synthesized parents only keeps 1/4 of their combined stats is why getting your monsters to level 100 is so important. And by using this entire method, I was capable of producing 2 what I am assuming are perfect stats on an Overkilling Machine, its HP and its MP. As I have mentioned before, no matter what I synthesize this Overkilling Machine with, I cannot get those stats to go higher on the offspring. So after that long, tedious explanation, the way you reach the maximum potential stat caps for your monsters is to continuously synthesize the stats that you want to cap out with parents that have really high points in those stats. And there is no short way to do this. Seeds won't bring your stats past cap, talents are added on top of cap, and once monsters hit level 100, they cannot grow their stats anymore. So my suggestion is to do the same thing I did with the Overkilling Machine. Start with about 8 parents of diversified stats, synthesize them into monsters with stat growth rates that you would desire on your finished monster, get their offspring to level 100, and synthesize them into the monster you want, or just use a copy of the monster you desire to have maximum potential or maximum individual stats. I'm actually really glad it wasn't anything super convoluted like model sizes or how many times you actually do synthesize the monster. Because I went through synthesizing model sizes and large monsters and small monsters. Large monsters do have a higher stat cap, by the way, because they just generally have more stats. But the method to get their stat cap is the same. I went through synthesizing different boss monsters together to see if I couldn't just influence their stat caps that way. I've synthesized one particular monster 30 times, and I've actually seen less stats on it than previous versions of itself. So yeah, I'm really glad it's just chalked up to the quarter of points retained on the offspring of two synthesized parents versus having to synthesize a monster 100 times to get maximum potential stat cap. And if you use the Metal King Slime farming route that I've already posted and made a video on, it's not that hard to get your monsters to level 100. I do it in about 20 minutes to 25 minutes. So it made this process a lot less painful. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video and explanation. Take care.